Good day, lovely people. Good day, lovely people. It is Tomiko. It is Tomiko again. It is Tomiko, the social worker. I am just coming to check in. I hope you've been doing well. I hope you've been doing well since the last time we spoke. I hope things have been okay. Maybe not perfect, but okay. Life is not perfect. It's filled with ups and downs. And so we take the bitter with the sweet. You know, balance has increased. It have never went away, but balance has increased. And so I wanted to talk about, how do we find inner peace? Somehow we have to find some inner peace. And so I wanted to talk about the natural ways that we find inner peace. I want to talk about some natural ways that we find inner peace. And one way of finding inner peace is sometimes we have to step away. We have to step away from the information. And so how much time that we give to feed ourselves with this negative information plays an impact. It plays an impact, and it can take a toll. It can take a negative toll on our bodies as well. And so removing ourselves sometimes for a little while can also help find some inner peace. Remove some time from social media, because we need just a little bit time to spend with ourselves, a little bit time to spend with ourselves. And so these are some ways that we can first start of finding inner peace. Is removing ourselves from negative information, and sometimes just sitting and being still. And so if you can find a quiet moment in your private space, find a quiet moment in your private space just to sit and be still. Sit and be still. And while you're sitting, make sure, just try to be in a relaxation mode, like your hands are not moving, your hands are not crossed or folded. Perhaps you want your hands just gently placed on your lap. Perhaps you just want your eyes to be closed for a few seconds, let's just say 30 seconds, and you want to do a little deep breathing. And so when you breathe, you don't want to breathe in as we normally breathe and then breathe out, but you want to breathe in. So you want to breathe in, but you want to breathe out of your mouth. You do not want to inhale and exhale the same intense energy that we have now, right? We don't want to inhale and then exhale the same energy. And so when we do inhale and we breathe out, we're moving the intensity away from us. We're moving the intensity away from us. And if you can do that for 30 seconds, some people haven't done it, so it might be a strange thing to you. And like I said, please be in a safe environment. You want to be in a safe environment while you're doing your deep breathing. You might want to, as you sit, you might want to take some sips of water as well. I'm not asking you to gulp anything down, but sometimes just a little sip of the water. We're not asking gulps. We're not asking for big gulps. We just want little sips of water as well. If you are lying down, if it's nighttime and you are lying down, you can still do the same deep breathing. I would say 3 times at least. If you can do it 3 times, no, your hands doesn't have to be placed on your lap as you're lying down, but get into your normal comfortable spot. Close your eyes and sit and try to breathe in, but you want to breathe out of your mouth. You want to push the negative energy away. You want to push the intensity away from you. We don't want to inhale the same breath that we exhale. And so we want to push it away, right? And don't do your best not to change the moment, not to change that moment of where you are. When things are so quiet, you're like, man, I'm not used to this much quietness. So what am I supposed to do with the quietness? That's one of the challenges. We have so many thoughts that's racing in our mind. We're around so much noise. And so when we do sit for a moment, we're like, man, it feels strange. I don't know what to do. Don't change the moment. Don't change that current atmosphere. Don't force yourself to think about something. Just deep breathe, deep breathe. Have a relaxation mode. I say for 30 seconds. For those of you that's new to it, if you could stretch it to a minute, so be it. Please do not count. Really count 30 seconds. Like, okay, well, I did it for 30 seconds. No, but when you're in your relaxation mode, and then just, come out and do your normal activity. If it's going to sleep, it's going to sleep. Members, if you live with family members, please respect that individual private space, that private time. I know sometimes when I'm lying down, my family want to tap me and be like, what you doing? And my reply is, I'm resting my eyes. They be like, no, you're going to sleep. And sometimes that's true, but I just want a moment of rest. So, if you're living with family members, just respect that time. We don't want anybody or tapping us, be like, what you thinking about? Hey, at this moment, nothing. I'm just really trying to clear my head. And so just taking that moment for yourself, kind of find some inner peace, for you. I have my large print puzzle. I do not finish the whole puzzle in one day. I don't finish the whole puzzle. I might just do a couple of words. I put it down. I relax, despite of the things that's beyond our control. How do we still find peace within ourselves? Because at that moment, we're not going to have the answer to, we answering why and why this had to happen, and all this violence, or someone may have lost a loved one, and things like that, and we don't have the on-site answer, to why. I know there is a time, some live, and then some just transition, and they pass away, because we still trying to find answers to why they pass away. I'll just talk about me personally, that when someone's there that passed away, when I had the easy access, I didn't grow I didn't develop as much. I didn't grow because it was just so easy access to run to that person, to call that person, because I know I had access to them. But then when that person passed away, they were no longer here in the state that I'm used to. They were no longer here, meaning that I can't talk, I can't physically call them up and hear their voice. I just can't, because they're no longer here. They passed away, and from them being removed from me, basically, I really want to use charge, but it brought on some type of charge or some type of demand. And this charge meaning that there was a demand on me to improve. The death of them passing away pulled out something that was lying inside of me, something that was inside of me. It pulled it out physically for me to grow and develop, which I wouldn't have had that growth or development if they were physically alive and I had easy access to them, if that makes sense. And so what I was thinking, I'm like, wow, I didn't think about that at that time. Sometimes when you have easy access to a particular loved one, you're not thinking, you know, about a particular growth. There's a particular growth that might not come until that person life gets transformed, until they pass away and gets transformed. And so when that person passed away when that person passed away, then my life was also transformed because I didn't have easy access no longer to hear that person's voice by either calling or going over there or visiting and things like that. And so there was a different kind of development that came from me. That I probably wouldn't have got if the person was still here, And so there's a growth spurt when the person is here, because that person's kind of here to kind of guide you, and instill in you, some directions and things like that. But there's another growth spurt when you don't have easy access no longer to that person. And so that's a different kind of growth spurt that's inside of you that need to come out of you. And sometimes it shows up best when the person is no longer here, because you don't have that easy access. Now it's no longer physically here in the state form that you used to. And I keep saying that because I don't want to say physically at all, because their bodies rest somewhere here. They're just not physically here in on the usual state, meaning that you can call them up. You can go and visit them and you can hear their voice, and you hear their voice and you have conversations. That's what I mean. And so they're no longer here in that state. And so when they pass away, now there's a growth spurt that it was already inside of me, but it had to come out after the passing of this loved one. And I think that's the term where sometimes it's said good things happen in bad events. You can have a good thing in a bad event, and that's what I got from passing of a loved one. Passing, no, I don't have the easy access. Yes, please go through your grieving process, do what you have to do, because you never get over it. We just get through it. You know what I'm saying? We just get through different types of growth and development. There's so many types of charges. And I did not talk about the charge where there is a demand on you, and that demand needs to be drawn from inside of you and now needs to be manifested out. It needs to be known out. And in order to do that, there are certain things that needs to happen, and sometimes passing away will cause a certain type of growth spurt inside of you. And I'm still talking about finding inner peace. And so we find inner peace sometimes by making sense of our life events that we don't understand. So I didn't lose my subject of finding inner peace. I'm finding inner peace is sometimes putting a puzzle, trying to put pieces together. There's certain things that have to happen, and sometimes it cannot happen until they have to change from that easy access, change to another state of being. Just remember ways to find inner peace. Take a moment for yourself, a little deep breathing as well. Get in a safe spot where you can just not change the moment. Don't try to change that moment of that. Making sense of your life, making sense of certain things of your life. Like I said, slowly. We're not asking to go. Relaxing slowly, slowly. Take sips of water. If you need to refresh yourself, take sips of water. And like I said, try it for 30 seconds. Try it. And I'm good. And then go back to reconnecting with others. You know, we don't want to isolate ourselves too much, but we just want to find some way to find inner peace. And when we find inner peace, it is not talking to anybody to find inner peace. And we need to find some things that's hidden inside of us. We need to find some treasures that's hidden inside of us. And we cannot do that until sometimes we spend more time, just a little bit time with ourselves. All right, I am done. Last thing I will tell you, but listen, you are adequate. You are enough. You are worthwhile. It is worthwhile to live despite all of the violence that is going on. Life is worth living. All right, all right. I'm going to go now. I am going to go. Time is far spent. I am going to go. But listen, before I go, like I always say, don't forget to take care of yourself. Don't forget to take care of yourself and each other. Take care. Bye for now. We'll talk soon.